You've had that moment where everything clicks. You see a pattern, a connection, something nobody else is seeing, and it feels profound. So you try to explain it, and nothing. Blank stares, polite nodding, that silence that says, "Are you okay?" And you think, they just don't get it. They're not smart enough. Or worse, am I losing my mind? Here's what nobody tells you. There is no logical difference between a breakthrough idea and a delusion. None. The same brain patterns, the same hyperlogical connections, the same feeling of absolute certainty. Philosophers do it, historians do it, schizophrenics do it. So how do you know which one you are? Because here's the thing, the difference isn't in your head, it's in the air. And I'm about to show you the exact test, the one psychiatrists actually use, to tell if you're onto something real or if you're drifting. Skip this, and you'll spend years defending ideas that only exist inside your skull. Stay with me. The myth. So first, let's kill the myth of objective reality. We think truth is black and white, real or crazy, logical or insane, that you can look at someone's idea and just know if it's valid. But here's what actually happens in a psychiatric hospital. Picture this, grand rounds, the theater of diagnosis. A chief psychiatrist walks in. Residents are presenting a case. Patient believes the government is sending him messages through the TV. The residents debate. Is this schizophrenia? Paranoid personality disorder? Delusional disorder? They analyze the logic, check the DSM criteria, build their arguments. And the chief? He doesn't open a book, doesn't analyze the facts. He leans back, takes a breath, and yells, "Don't you feel it? This man smells of schizophrenia." The residents freeze, because what the hell does that mean? But here's the thing. That's the most honest statement you'll ever hear about how reality works. Because delusion isn't about what you say. It's about resonance. Let me prove it. A historian says, the war happened because of the spirit of the times. A schizophrenic says, the war happened because of invisible cosmic rays. By formal logic, both are groundless. Neither can prove their connection. No physical evidence, just a feeling that events are linked. But one sounds normal, one sounds insane. Why? Because one resonates with the tribe. One fits the shared map of reality. The other is on a different frequency entirely. And if you can't tell the difference, you might be the patient. Here's another way to think about it. A child reads the word orgasm in a dictionary. They read the definition. They think they understand. But they imagine something completely wrong because they lack the experience. Same with schizophrenia. Same with reality itself. You can read about it, study it, define it. But until you felt that specific disconnect, that wall where meaning just stops transferring, the word is empty. Reality doesn't exist until we name it. Together, so here's the test, the one they don't write in textbooks. Step 1, the definition trap. First, understand what won't save you. The clinical definition of delusion says, the uncorrectable establishment of connections without real grounds. Sounds scientific, right? It's useless. Because by that definition, history is a mental illness. Astrology is a mental illness. Philosophy, Husserl, Heidegger, all of phenomenology, mental illness. They all connect events without real grounds, without physical proof. A historian links events to the zeitgeist, the spirit of an era. Can you measure that? No. Can you see it? No. But we accept it because it smells right. And here's why logic won't save you. Your pattern recognition circuits don't care about truth. They care about coherence. A paranoid person, hyperlogical, their delusion is airtight. Every detail fits. The conspiracy makes perfect sense. So checking if your idea is logical means nothing. The schizophrenic is more logical than you are. What matters is the second test, the one that actually works. Step 2. The smell test. Next time you have a breakthrough, a connection nobody else sees, do this. Find a grounded, rational person, not your conspiracy theory friend, not someone who agrees with everything you say, a professor type, someone anchored, someone functional, and try to transfer the idea. Explain the connection, walk them through it. Now watch. Watch their face. Listen to the silence. Does the idea resonate? Do they pause and say, "Huh? I never thought of it that way?" Or do you hit a wall? That polite nodding, that blank stare, that energy that says, "This person has left the building." If your connection cannot be felt by another functioning human, you're not a genius. You're isolated. And here's why this test works. Humans are social reality machines. We co-create truth through shared perception. It's not weakness. It's biology, mirror neurons, theory of mind. The entire architecture of your brain is designed to sync with the tribe. Schizophrenics don't just think differently. They transmit on a different frequency. They see things with the inner eye, pseudo-hallucinations, while the rest of us are locked into shared, consensual reality. The chief psychiatrist doesn't analyze the patient's logic. He feels if they're still transmitting on the human channel. And if they're not, that's the smell. Miss this signal and you'll waste years defending ideas that only live in your head. So what do you do if you fail the test? Step 3, the recalibration rule. If you fail the smell test, you have 2 options. Option 1, double down, insist everyone else is blind. Option 2, recalibrate immediately. Ask yourself one question, not, am I smarter than them? Not, are they too conventional to understand? Just this, am I alone? Because the difference between a visionary and a madman isn't intelligence, it's loneliness. Visionaries bring people with them. Madmen drift away. And your brain needs this feedback loop to know what's real. Einstein was weird, revolutionary, saw things nobody else saw. But he could build a bridge. He could transfer the idea. Eventually, it resonated. If your idea is untransferable, it's not ahead of its time, it's outside of time, and that's where you lose the thread. Your brain is wired for social validation. Deprive it long enough, and you drift. Not because you're weak, because you're human. Step 4, the naming exercise. Here's the advanced move. Start naming your experiences the way the tribe names them. Not because the tribe is always right, but because shared language is the only door back to shared reality. Example, you feel. A dark presence just entered the room. The tribe says, you felt anxious because the lighting changed. Practice using their labels, even if it feels reductive, even if it feels like you're losing something. You're not suppressing insight. You're retraining your brain to sync with the social frequency. Because here's what they don't teach you in school. Psychiatry isn't about learning facts. It's about learning to label reality the way your mentors label it. The residents in that grand rounds, they're not learning schizophrenia from a textbook. They're learning to smell it from the chief, to feel the disconnect, to recognize the frequency shift. Reality is a team sport. Most people never learn this. They think their private experience is the only real one, but you're smarter than that. Which brings us to the final principle, the one that changes everything. The truth. Principle. Truth is not what is real. Truth is what is shared. If you see a connection nobody else can see, you have a choice. Build a bridge, show them, make it resonate, or let go. Because holding on to an idea that isolates you, That's not courage. That's not genius. That's a slow exit from reality. Your brain needs social feedback to calibrate what's real. Deprive it long enough, and you drift. Not because you're stupid, not because you're weak, because you're human, and humans don't survive alone. The shift. So this isn't about checking yourself. This isn't about suppressing your insights or giving in to groupthink. It's about understanding what reality is. The masses think truth is objective. You now know it's resonant. When you pass the smell test, you know you're onto something. When you fail it, you recalibrate before you drift. You're not suppressing brilliance, you're filtering delusion. That's the difference. If you're the only one who sees it, you're not ahead. You're alone. Stay grounded.